Jaguar Wright literally told us a couple months ago the next person that was going to go down with Diddy was going to be Jay-Z, and she has been standing on their neck for years now.
So Diddy have on tape, he taped everything. He taped everything and taped everybody.
How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert?
Some observers believe there may be reasons Diddy has consistently avoided accountability amid serious accusations, pointing to strategic responses reminiscent of how past legal challenges, such as the widely publicized 1999 nightclub case, were handled. These approaches are viewed as deliberate efforts to manage public perception, redirect attention, and stay ahead of criticism, effectively turning moments of controversy into controlled narratives rather than unchecked fallout.
And as we going towards the boathouse, I look in the distance and it's this man in all black. He's in all black. And he turns and it looked like he had the white collar. I couldn't be sure. I couldn't be positive, but it looked like he had the white collar because Puff said, "Yo, Gene, stay right here." And I stayed right there and he kept on walking. So when Puff get directly to the dude, he gets down on his knees. When he gets down on his knees, this man takes something and it seemed like it had smoke in it and he started doing it around Puff. And then he went back and forth and then he went up and down with it, sideways with it, then back around him. And then he put it down and then he put his hand on Puff's head and I guess he started, saying something. I don't even really know what he said, but I couldn't tell what he said. You understand what I'm saying? Long story short, I see Puff reach into this case. And when he reached into this case, he came out and you could see something white in his hand. I didn't know it was a bird. I didn't know what it was at first, but he threw it up in the air. And when he threw it in the air, it came straight back down like it was a brick and said, "Pow," on the concrete. And I was like, oh, that was a dub.
Fueling. The current conversation is the sense that those around him may be acting carefully, unsettled by how Diddy has continued forward despite controversy, and wary of what his reemergence could mean after they chose to step back. In moments like this, certain figures inevitably draw attention, with Jay-Z becoming a central point of discussion as observers speculate about who else might be impacted amid unresolved questions and ongoing concerns.
He gets to get out, be with his family. They didn't really railroad him like they did R. Kelly.
Isn't that interesting how I've been saying that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Since 2022, I've been talking about acceptable monsters. Hand-selected, hand-picked. Tell me something. How does R. Kelly's music get snatched off the radio and Diddy?
So why has his name resurfaced so prominently? Jaguar Wright argues that the issue extends well beyond headlines, pointing to a pivotal moment involving Diddy and Jay-Z that she believes could carry long-term consequences for hip-hop culture, beneath the public image and constant media attention. She suggests a quieter but influential tension is taking shape, one that places loyalty in conflict with accountability, and legacy preservation against the responsibility to face difficult truths.
Stay silent about his connection to Diddy. And baby, she wasn't lying, because Jaguar Wright was just on Piers Morgan exposing the out of Jay-Z. Jaguar Wright was calling out Jay-Z for his silence, saying that now he's going to have no choice but to talk because he has connections with Diddy, R. Kelly, Epstein, and Harvey Weinstein. She also said that she has victims that have video footage of these freak-offs and what they do to people, and she said that she saw what Jay-Z and Beyonce were allegedly doing to people. Jaguar Wright even said that Jay-Z is the one that allegedly set up R. Kelly because he knew everything that he was doing and he was doing the same shit. And she said that Jay-Z is the one that funded surviving R. Kelly because his best friend for years is Dream Hampton. And baby, she wasn't lying. Jay-Z and Dream Hampton have been friends for years.
Even as Diddy faces mounting restrictions and intense scrutiny, the pressure surrounding him appears to be growing rather than easing. Some believe he may try to redirect attention outward as a way of managing the spotlight, with Jay-Z's name often resurfacing in ongoing speculation. Jaguar Wright has hinted at a development she describes as far more serious and wide-ranging, suggesting it relates to Diddy's alleged methods and has yet to fully emerge. If brought to light, she implies it could have an impact on the industry that surpasses anything revealed so far.
But it's another thing when you look at it for what, in my opinion, I believe it actually is.
And what is it?
Demonic, ritualistic behaviors, humiliation rituals. Offerings to the devil.
We were just talking about that. Revelation 17. The mystery of Babylon. I don't think people really want to get into that when they talk about mystery Babylon and the abominations and the rituals, the SEX rituals, the traffic to the traffic jam.
I mean, we all know the saying that they have out here, right? They say that the music industry, the film industry, Hollywood and all that is the devil's playground. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised. What about you? Leave it in the comment section. Let's talk about it, but let's also continue.
The selling of your body, all that stuff, mystery of Babylon, y'all.
Like, I want y'all to really think about what they were talking about. See, everybody was, the spreading of bodily fluids from one person to another, using one person as a receptacle, and then taking it from that person's body and then putting it and smearing it all over.
To understand how events have reached this pivotal point, it helps to revisit a period when Jay-Z and Diddy were towering figures in hip-hop, shaping not only the music industry, but broader culture as well. Through ventures like Roc Nation and Bad Boy, they built influential brands that defined style, ambition, and reach for an entire generation. Their public appearances often projected confidence and unity. Yet, according to Jaguar Wright, their relationship extended beyond a standard business alliance, involving unspoken factors that she suggests were significant enough that, if revealed, could put much of what they built at risk.
CIA agent like Jeffrey Epstein, I watched that in a video or something, and it's possible that he came in the game young, because I heard that a story of Gene Deal saying that Diddy had to go meet with the feds. He don't know what it was about, and it was in his earlier part of his career. I wonder if he could have been working with him for all these years. Who knows? Let's talk about it in the comments, but we're going to continue.
SEX magic. Sure enough. Yeah, Jay-Z, he wears Aleister Crowley t-shirts.
Well, I got dragged.
He had a line of his own clothing. Like, I want you to really think about this.
I got dragged for bringing that to people's attention. They were like, oh yeah, he's a conspiracy theorist because he said, I'm like, no, that's what he wore. And he was with Abramovich. Like, yeah, y'all gotta, who you hang with is who you are.
I'm still trying to understand how people want to sit there and talk about me, and he's sitting there frontal lobe to frontal lobe with a known witch. And people don't question.
And
Yes,
the funny thing
do as thou wilt. Yeah.
the funny thing is when you talk about witches, and you know, I'm still not going to go in on this raccoon of a uh, content creator who decided to, you know, shout you out one minute and then try to drag you for going on a platform and saying, you know, you said about witchcraft takes one to know one, and he just automatic, you got you a witch. So the thing is that's another smear campaign, your credibility, and then they go after your,
You want
what
to
is
know
it?
what's
I don't
funny?
want to say I don't want to say religiosity. What is it?
What is what?
No, I'm saying they go after your credibility.
Wright has gone so far as to suggest that Diddy's most effective path to self-protection could be complete openness. Using full disclosure as a way to seek resolution and expose the hidden connections that she believes have long shielded powerful individuals from deeper scrutiny.
Jay-Z and Diddy, and nobody believed her. I remember her very first interview years ago saying how Diddy was a trafficker, and everybody thought she was crazy and everybody ridiculed everything she had to say. Well, now does she seem crazy? What I love about Jaguar Wright is watching her time and time again get vindicated on things that she says. Like, it was so crazy back then that nobody wanted to believe it, but now that we are seeing things come to light, how crazy is it actually? I've always been the type that can't stand when people are called crazy because the things that they are saying are hard for a person to believe. This doesn't make a person crazy, and these people wouldn't be saying these things for no reason. We watch it happen time and time again with these situations, just like Cat Williams, just like Michael Jackson, just like Aaron Carter, and even Kanye. Really feel like in 2024, everybody has woken up and seen that all of these people saying this throughout the years, they're not crazy. They're not saying all of this for no reason, and it's something that I've known for years. Jaguar Wright literally told us a couple months ago the next person that was going to go down with Diddy was going to be Jay-Z, and she has been standing on their neck for years now. She's even talked about Jay-Z's alleged relationships with younger people in the past, such as Aaliyah, such as Foxy Brown, such as Rihanna, and even
Wright also argues that a critical and often overlooked part of the broader narrative involves Kathy Carano White. She has claimed that Kathy had a personal connection to Jay-Z and was allegedly planning to speak publicly about it before her death. According to Wright, Kathy passed away just one day after she was said to have intended to come forward. Wright presents this sequence of events as significant, suggesting it raises unresolved questions about unseen influences and why certain aspects of the industry have remained shielded from public scrutiny.
Actually died screaming. And the Carters are responsible. But one of them is just a little more responsible than the other. Question is, did Sean Carter delete his mistress, his pregnant mistress, because his wife was jealous? Or could it be possible that maybe his wife's temper is just a little worse than most people think? And maybe he just had to clean it up to protect.
Wright's claims take on a more serious tone as she suggests that both Diddy and Jay-Z may have knowledge about what happened to Kathy, and that Diddy could potentially share important information if he ever chose to cooperate with investigators. In her view, the larger uncertainty is whether that would ever happen. She points to what she sees as early indications of strain between the two figures years ago's small but notable moments, such as Jay-Z's absence from one of Diddy's major events, followed by Diddy later returning the gesture. In an industry where public appearances are closely scrutinized, Wright interprets these actions as meaningful signals of a growing divide behind the scenes. Adding further perspective, Roger Bonds, Diddy's former head of security, has also suggested that far more was happening out of public view than most people could fully understand.
And they're not close at all or whatever else. Did you see the two of them interact a lot?
I seen them interact, but I wouldn't say they was close. I believe Puff felt they was close.
Oh.
But if you was a person on the outside looking in, like me and Uncle Paulie used to always talk about it, me and D-Rock was talking about, yo, why Puff kind of like sucking Jay off so much? You know what I'm saying? Cause you'd be like, we done flew to 5 or 6, 7 different concerts that Jay-Z has, but Jay-Z is not at one of Puff's shows. You know what I'm saying? You look at the Rock brunch where Puff will break his neck to get to the brunch, but Jay-Z don't pop up at any of Puff parties. You know, now I can only speak up until 2012. You know what I'm saying? And Puff was breaking his neck. Like at the end of the day, in our mind, we say, yo, he ain't even invite Puff to his wedding. When he married Beyonce, Steve Stout and all them was there. You know what I'm saying? And Puff was kind of in his feelings, but once again.
Oh, Puff was upset he didn't get invited to the wedding?
Of course he was.
Oh.
You know what I'm saying? But you got to remember, we're security, so we're bottom on a tote pole. So he's not going to show you that it really affects him until you have a little conversation with him, or you say something, or you overhear something. But he didn't get invited to that, you know. Yeah, Jay came through every once in a while. Like if we was in a yacht in Saint-Tropez or one of these places like that, Jay might ride up. You know what I'm saying? And it's more or less to show, yeah, I got a yacht too. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm out here too. More or less than we're tight friends. I look at it as two people that's getting money because they did have some businesses together and we did have to go to some meetings together. And it was like, this is how far it goes, but we're not friends. You know what I'm saying? Like people ask me that all the time. I mean, Jay ain't really with Puff. It was no personal into it. It would be like if Ron Burgos is flying from LA on his jet, but Jay-Z just so happens to be going to New York too. We all end up on the jet flying back, those type of things, but nothing to go out his way. It's if we in a club, you might be downtown at bed or something like that. Jay-Z might be there. So they end up at the same table. You know what I'm saying? And it was times where I listen to the records now where Jay-Z said, yo, why should I drink Ciroc when why should I drink Grey Goose when Puff got Ciroc? This is something new that just started happening because I remember we almost got into a big altercation with Pecos and them because
For Sean Pecos?
Yeah, because Puff was there and Jay and them was there and they had a bunch of Grey Goose bottles come to the table. And Puff felt like, yo, that was disrespectful. And he knocked over the Grey Goose bottles.
Jaguar Wright has continued to revisit her views on Jay-Z and Diddy over the years, keeping the conversation active through repeated comparisons and commentary. She contends that influential figures connected to major controversies such as Harvey Weinstein, Jeffrey Epstein, R. Kelly, and Diddy follows similar patterns in how power operates behind the scenes. In Wright's interpretation, Jay-Z functioned with calculated restraint, maintaining a tightly controlled public image while avoiding direct fallout. She characterizes his influence as subtle but far-reaching, suggesting it shaped events quietly while remaining largely outside public consequence.
Hype Williams to put Aaliyah on a faulty plane to move her out the way as punishment for rejecting him, and so he could level up Beyonce, who was struggling. Let's just say allegedly that happened. Now I want you to think about 106th Park with Mary J. Blige. Free, who is a victim of Sean Carter.
Yeah.
Mary J. Blige, who is a victim of Sean Combs, are sitting there talking about the death of Aaliyah amongst each other. Think about that. You got a Diddy victim, you got a Jay-Z victim, and you got a superstar gone. They know what happened.
According to Jaguar Wright, this belief explains why she thinks Diddy could one day turn against Jay-Z if the pressure becomes overwhelming. She argues that when self-preservation takes priority, the most calculated response may be allowing long-concealed information to come into view. While some view her claims as extreme, Wright maintains that she has been raising these concerns for years. In her view, Jay-Z and Diddy sustained their influence through deliberate strategy and tightly managed systems shaping careers, steering narratives, and exercising power in subtle ways that she believes remain largely unseen by the public.
That he may start revealing things about other people.
He has no choice. His ego and his addiction won't allow him to do anything different. Anybody who thinks he's not going to talk is crazy. He's got everybody on tape. They all know it. It's a mess. Dream Hampton spearheaded the Surviving R. Kelly campaign, which fueled the Me Too campaign. And that was all funded by Sean Carter to make sure that Robert Kelly went to jail. Get his lick back. Why is nobody understanding that Dream Hampton was being financed and ran by Sean Carter? They were able to go and get all of these witnesses because he was there with Robert Kelly. How does Jay-Z sit down with Gayle King and she not ask him one question about the intersection between him and Aaliyah and Robert Kelly? This is insane that people keep refusing to see what's right there.
How many victims potentially do you think there could be?
Thousands. I've talked to hundreds that I deal with still myself. I have 3 victims right now who are willing to give testimony about not only what Mr. Carter has done to them, but his...
Whether Jaguar Wright's assertions are accurate or not, they have reignited one of hip-hop's most intense debates. How much remains hidden beneath fame, wealth, and silence? She is not the only commentator examining the Diddy-Jay's relationship. Observers like Osino have pointed to a recurring pattern in Diddy's narrative: how quickly former allies, including Jay-Z, appeared to distance themselves. Once peers and self-made moguls who built their empires together, they dominated the industry side by side. Yet when challenges arose for Diddy, Jay-Z seemed to step back almost immediately, safeguarding his own position as if he had anticipated the unfolding turbulence well in advance.
So funny because my videos are being heavily suppressed. You know, I gotta read you guys this. It's funny. It's like they really want to corral everywhere I go and who I talk to and what I say. Oh, hold on. Where is it? Oh, I don't have it in here. I sent myself the wrong one. No, that was a long. Oh, but then there is this. Oh, did you see this? Have you seen this? Yeah. Jaguar Wright almost unalived by Diddy's hitman. Noah Jacob, TV. I shouted him out once before. I guess they paid you real good. You fake Christian piece of crap. Bearing false witness. You call yourself a Christian? Bearing false witness, you stupid little kid. Because if you think I'm not going to come after your platform, and if you think I'm not going to make sure that everybody goes to your platform and report you for the lies you told, with your AI evidence video that you put up.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you know what the video said? That number one, it said Diddy's hitman, but I thought Diddy and Jay-Z wasn't.
Despite numerous photos showing them together at parties and industry gatherings, Jay-Z reportedly began to treat his relationship with Diddy as largely transactional. Alcino notes that Jay-Z's interactions shifted toward a measured professional detachment. Essentially, we crossed paths. That's it. For him, the focus was on self-preservation rather than friendship, recognizing that public association with Diddy during contentious periods could affect his own reputation. Recent claims suggest that Jay-Z's links to certain industry insiders are also under scrutiny, with some observers alleging that he may be navigating the situation carefully to protect himself while remaining indirectly connected to the broader fallout surrounding Diddy.
Still Puff Daddy. He's not going to be able to do none of the stuff he was doing before, though, as far as business-wise.
Look, Puff Daddy and Jay-Z were considered peers at one point. Now, Jay-Z and Diddy are not talked about in the same
Jay-Z
sentence.
got the fuck away from that shit fast. You know what I'm saying?
Jay-Z was like, yeah, I don't know him. I know him, but not like that.
Yo, the niggas got like 80 pictures together, all type of parties.
I know, of course they know each other.
Hov said, listen, I don't know. Hov said, you know, Hov ain't going for the Hov. Like, I don't know, boy. We was together a couple times. I don't know, boy. I don't got nothing.
Within the industry, Perez's background is well known. She previously cooperated with federal authorities in a widely reported case, which remains part of the public record. Ascote finds it striking that someone with that history could ascend to a leadership role at ROC Nation under a figure whose reputation was built on street credibility, prompting questions about potential federal connections and discreet oversight. Gandil adds that the narrative surrounding Diddy likely extends beyond any single individual, pointing instead to a larger, largely unseen network operating behind the scenes.
Kanye West concerned.
Here's the thing, right? Kanye, and I know some of the people around him, it's like Kanye can no longer do a lot of things he could do before.
Like what?
He can't tour in Europe. He can't tour in America. He has to go to like China, South Korea, like Brazil. There's only a few places in the world that'll book him. He can't even go into Australia. Like Australia said that the Hail Hitler song got him banned to even enter the country, even though his wife is Australian. He wasn't even trying to perform. They wouldn't even let him in the country. Listen, you start doing songs like Hail Hitler, you become a symbol of hatred to the world.
That's like one of the worst people you could ever try.
You know, I interviewed the dude that wrote that song, Dave Blunts. You know, the big...
Okay, what's that? Write this song?
Nah, well, he performed it though. I mean, it's still his song. But yeah, no, Dave Blunts wrote it. He also wrote the cousin song, the one about giving his cousin head. And I asked him, I'm like...
So who's this guy? Who's this guy that wrote the songs?
Dave Blunts. He's like the 600-pound rapper.
Tapes, and I want you to give more clarity. So you believe they only got Puffy because they wanted these tapes. But what do you think is on these tapes?
Bro, you got to realize you got people like Prince Harry. Prince Harry was at a Diddy party. You got some of the same Universal executives. Diddy made it cool for, I'm just gonna say it like this, man, whites to hang out with the hood dudes. Dude from the hood, he made it cool and safe for them to hang out with the white executives. They used them for that. They used them enough, whereas that now you got white executives doing Diddy-like parties. Remember the dude from, Frantic? The clothing line, the sports line? They was mad because they didn't get invites to his party because he was doing white parties, doing parties like Diddy. Now I ain't talking about the freak off party part of it, but I'm just saying he was doing those parties and everybody, there was rappers, or I think Stephen A. Smith said something about he was upset that he didn't get no invite. So it was those parties that everybody want to be at. So Diddy have on tape, he taped everything.
If these claims turn out to be accurate, an additional high profile figures face scrutiny. It could pave the way for Jay-Z and his wife to consolidate their influence over the business side of the industry with significantly less competition. Many speculate that Jay-Z may eventually confront his own challenges, though likely not in the immediate future. He is reportedly well protected, and it took years to build a case strong enough to target Diddy. Observers point out that Jay-Z has never hesitated to distance himself from allies when it suited his interests. Should Diddy decide to come forward, it could place Jay-Z directly under scrutiny. Could all of this be part of a larger, calculated strategy for ultimate control?